Hey YouTubers, yes, it's me again. I know I just played Killing Floor 2, and welcome onto this fun-filled edition of Dark Souls 3. As you know, today, being a Sunlight Sis for the Sunlight Covenant has actually been paying off. In case some of you are wondering why I'm actually at the new DLC that just came out just recently. Normally I help the people out here fight Gale, which it seems like they may have nerfed him just a little bit. And as you know, on my Pyro, actually I have her as a Faith build now. I actually have the Frayed Blade at +5. It's a very good weapon. It actually has very good bleed weapon. And for the most, to get the Frayed Blade, there's an optional boss fight if you can actually beat the dragon. You end up getting that particular weapon. However, not many people I know, some of my friends actually haven't beaten the dragon. Some of them were like a new game plus. Rumor was that the dragon itself changes its attacks supposedly in New Game Plus. However, it's true, but sometimes it isn't. I actually spoke to a good friend of mine about the bleed build, and I didn't know at first because I thought it was just a rumor about the about luck that it actually helps with the bleed. Unfortunately, given the fact that, you know, my character is pretty much made Faith, Pyromancer, and Sorcery, I pretty much don't say it very often, but it's always a good thing. For my character, actually, I got the DLC, which is Shira's Crown, the antiquated dress, all the way down to here, is pretty much from the in-game, not the DLC. Of course, everybody knows what this is, which, you know, you belong to a church covenant, fighting invaders. I've only fought invaders maybe once or twice, got a couple of spears, but that was it. The rest here, I actually do, mainly are PvE, boss battles. Only reason is, one, I'm not very particular keen about PvP, and two, I rather help people out for their, you know, to get their bosses done, so this way they can move forward or progress. As you also know, now the funny thing is when I did this type of build, and then also in this DLC over here, there was, you know, everybody knows exactly what happens here, Philonor, but I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, you know, the person, you know, Philonor over here, how did she get tied into all this? You know, how did all this come about, even after, like, the second Dark Souls, or the first Dark Souls? And I still have not found an answer for that. And if anybody knows, you know, what that is, or they know how to do it, I'm actually inclined, you know, I'm curious, because if some of you Dark Soul veterans who've actually played the first and the second. I actually didn't. Well, I did play the first, but I played mostly the second prior to the third, and I normally don't. I normally don't do a new game plus, unless once all the DLCs are done. I know they said this one in general is supposed to be the last DLC in the last of the series, but if they are taking a break from it, and if they do come out with another one, I think that would be kind of cool. But if they don't, then I'll jump over to, I guess everybody's starting to play the Neo game, so I may end up jumping up on that. But for now, there really isn't much. As you can tell, I got my Sunlight Covenant sign down. Just seeing how many people can actually summon me. It just almost seems like, let me rephrase that. Gale can be easy, but if you don't know his moveset, you can, you'll actually die pretty much. That's the same thing with the dragon. The optional boss, whether if you want to get the katana or not. Actually, the Frayed Blade, the +5, is actually, this is pretty good, because the additional effects, obviously, you don't have poison, but the requirements for the Frayed Blade, let me see what they are. One is 40 dex and 11 strength, and also for the bleed it does 34, but if you have higher luck you can actually do more damage, more bleed damage. Unfortunately my luck isn't that high, so it pretty much, I just leave it to where it is. And then for me, I just got the Chlorothy ring, the +3. I have the Farron ring, which is very good if you're using like any type of pyromancy, miracle, sorcery. This one was given to me by a friend, the Ring of the Sun Firstborn, which actually I actually like, which gives me some boost in miracles, and then of course I use this, which is the Covetous Silver Ring, which led in to the previous Dark Souls, which I think is kind of nice, but I prefer, had they done what they did with Dark Souls 2, which was the Ring of Blades, I think that would have benefit from everything else. Of course, without that being said, actually, the trick is, if in case some of you haven't gotten Sacred Oath, there's a couple things you need to know. I mean, some already know about it and some don't, but if you decide to go with a Sunlight Covenant, Sacred Oath is a Covenant item. It's a Covenant drop, and letting out people who haven't played Dark Souls 3 or who are starting to get into it once you get the Sunlight Covenant. And what happens is you present 30 Sunlight medals. For me, I've been pretty much doing an entirety of just helping people out, collecting them, still offering them to the Sunlight Covenant. I particularly don't mind that because one of my friends who I had helped me in the beginning stages of the game, we end up killing the rotted greatwood, which is downright a piece of garbage. I think they could have done it better if they've made maybe a sister version to, and I hate to say it, but something like the Lost Giant in Dark Souls 2, which I found which I liked, but I don't like the idea of the cursed rotted greatwood, which was really bad. As you could tell, yes, I'm sitting here talking. I know you're wondering when am I going to get to the real action part. To be honest, let's see. Well, I'll just remove my summon sign and we'll go somewhere else, and I will show you where what I do from here. Let's see. I think the best travel we can do Kiln of the First Flame. Usually I like to help people out in this one generally, because sometimes, you know, just the idea of helping people helps, you know, makes me feel good. And I mean, I like PvP, but I just don't like doing it very much. I mean, it kind of, you know, especially if you're in Sunlight Covenant, it gives you that funky looking color, like a more of a orange color, which I personally don't like. I would go Pyro. I do have the Demon Scar. I do have all the DLC weapons. Got through beating the entire DLC, the 4 bosses of the Ring City. And when you do the bosses of the Ring City, it's pretty rewarding. You'll get everything you need. You'll get whatever you decide to get. But I would strongly recommend when you fight the Demon Princes, or the Demon Prince, I should say, do not get the actual spell ability, because it's just a waste. I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard some good things and not so many other good things. And I will show you the Demon Scar, which is right here. This actually takes the, you know, for those who are getting new to the series, and I'll be self-explanatory about this. This kind of weapon, it's a curved sword, but it actually takes the place of the pyromancy hand that you'd first get in the game. And if you become a pyromancer, you just use it for the pyromancy. You just hit the R2, and you're good to go. And then you can still slash with it with the R1. And then the same thing like with this chime I have here, Philnor's chime. That actually, also the lightning bow that you also get in the DLC, which is at a hidden cavern. And in case anybody has not found it, I could tour guide it to show you where it is. When you get past the dragging. Actually, here, let me just take off my summon sign. I'll show you where it is. Normally, normally I just try to get everything I can in the game. One shot deal, and I just, and I'll show you, and I will show you exactly where you have to get it. Let me see. Yes, it's right here. Oh, no. Of course, I hit the wrong bonfire, but that's okay. Just trying to wake up, and not very... when you start playing this, you get to know exactly where you're finding it. I kind of wish that there was some kind of way... you know, they had another boss or something. especially when it came down to the Ashes of Ariandel. I mean, it was a good DLC, but I think it was a little too short, in my personal opinion. Oh no, wait a minute, I can go over this way. So I'll show you where it is. Well, I still have to do this one, but I won't right now. So the dragon's knocked off his ass. Let's see, yes, and I have to go down here. As you can tell, if you guys haven't done the DLC or anybody hasn't, right where I'm having the camera angled, that church right there is where the dragon will actually hang from. But the thing is when you cross this bridge, I'm going to show you a little thing here in case some of you had problems with it. Oh, what do you know? It's... Oh, no. This is the little hideout. So when you run from the bridge, and the key trick is to time it right, you can get right to this little chasm right here. I probably go right about to here, or not even. I probably go probably over here in this general area, and wait until the dragon was done. But if you go further in, there's an item that would be over here. But, you know, and then once he's done, he goes to that area there. You want to run. Only thing I hear are these guys, but I'm not worried about my health being dropped. And then this is a little ditch right here. Oh, but you know, I haven't gotten it. I actually ran past the dragon when I did this. So, this is what it is, a tight-knit scale. Well, now you know where that is. And then you just go under here. And you can see these guys here, you just kill them. I actually didn't bother with the questing. I didn't bother with the questing as far as the NPCs go, because to be honest, I don't really like to bother my time with that sort of thing. Because to be honest, if you join up with a Dark Souls community, you get better, you know, you start getting that feel of what it is. But yeah, this is a tricky part, and I'll show you what you do here. First off, you can kind of sort of come down here if you want, but there is a mimic I didn't even bother touching. But if you go down, well, this is where you would meet Lapis. I know some of the Dark Souls veteran, we all know who Lapis was. He was a con man. And if you went down here and you just follow this all the way down, then you can actually, well, it doesn't take me to like the beginning, but you go here and there will be an NPC that will show up. And if you look over, you know, it's just how this level is. It's really weird. And then this is where you would have to go to the bonfire. There's only one skeleton, and then you just go here. And of course, this guy's gonna carry, so... I just normally use this weapon. It makes the game so much easier now. Having these type of weapons, the DLC weapons, they do more damage than the actual in-game. Now over here, I'm coming up to a crystal lizard. Oh, well, that really sucks. Well, I didn't get him, but look at this. I'm okay with like doing the catacombs and shit. I just don't, you know. I look around, but this is where you would find the Red Invader. Would be this general person. Yep. Kind of figured this guy would. There's really nothing here. But there is a mimic, and I'll show you where he is. Though I'm not surprised the way how they did this sort of thing. Of course, a dead end, but of course that brings you back to the beginning. Now I could just jump down here. No big deal. Sometimes it can be confusing because you actually need to see where you're going, and a lot of times, like, this took me a while to get out of here. I mean, I'm okay with, like, you know, showing tours and stuff of what this part of the catacombs. And then you just go up this way. And you go up over here. There's the bonfire. Well, what I did is I just showed you where things are. And then when you get to this part, the dragon will come from beyond this point. It'll go behind that rock guarding that building. Now, if you have another person or two, you can actually, after he breathes fire, I normally did is I stood back here, waited till he was done. But this is a trick part, because once he lands like in this area here, you want to be very careful, because if you drop down there, well, everybody knows what happens. So I'm not going to really get into it. But I will show you where I found it in case you people, you know, in case anybody hasn't found it yet. And I just want to make sure, because sometimes I went through this. Now, the actual, you see where that guy is right there? That's where you're going to go and get it. Of course, I'm getting hit with this motherfucker. Okay, once you kill this guy that was in here, you hit this wall. Well, there'll be a wall right here, so you hit it. Come here, and you hit this one again. There'll be another wall here, so you hit that one, and then it'll be on this corpse right here. Once you do that, you'll have this particular miracle. And I'll show you what it does. It's pretty good. So you see how I hold it in those angles. It's a very beautiful miracle. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in all the Soul series. I mean, there has been versions of this, different versions of it, like a soul arrow or lightning arrow, but not a lightning arrow with a bow in it, which I think is pretty awesome. Now, yeah, let's see. Oh yeah. But this will be a shortcut to get to where I just showed you. So, you'll get the ring, the Clorthy ring, where the statue of Gwyn is. And from here, you pull this elevator down. I don't like waiting. But you just go here, and then this elevator will take you back up to the Ring City inner wall. After you open up this gate, and then here's the bonfire you can actually rest at. And alright, enough being a tour guide. So I just hope that, you know, everybody was able to see where they go. You know, like I said, I show people, you know, what they need to know, or I even help them, because there's some people who haven't done the DLC, can actually now know where some of this stuff is, but they have to get through the other stuff. Now, here comes the fun part. Oh, I went too far. How do you like that one? Yes, so pretty much that's the tour of that section of the DLC, and now we just gotta be patient. Usually I drive people nuts though, because I always change my my armor layout more than once, so. But today I'm kind of like, you know, waking up, and you know, now I'm starting to get fully awake, so which is pretty good. I can't even see my summon sign anymore. It's buried right into the ash. Ask me that question. But oh dear, that's a long way down. I hope nobody's got nosebleeds, because I'm actually looking. But you know, I'm doing something a little different than most Dark Souls players do. I mean, everybody's like, oh, you know, you want to, you know, you do PvP videos, which is fine and good. You know, it's good that, yeah, okay, people have different variations, but how many people really get to see an actual fight go on or take place? I don't normally do very much as far as that goes, but and on top of it, it's a, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope that you guys found this very helpful, and well, well, I wish one of my friends was on. I would actually show what to do, you know, like fighting and stuff. But I know this is like watching paint dry, but you know. Anyways, this is it. This is Layla saying goodbye. And I hope you did find me somewhat useful upon my squirrelings. But if you guys have any input to where there's one thing I do need to find, or if someone can tell me where to find it, is the not the Sacred Flame. I'm trying to find one other NPC that deals with the miracles. I have the blind girl, but there's one that wears like a dark armor, and you encounter her, but I've never yet found her. And I heard she's supposed to have like some kind of miracle or something. I can't think of her name, but anyways, bye for now, and hopefully that this video, like I said, got you somewhat useful. Alright,